Hello, this is Doug Crawford, a member of the Vintage Computer Federation East, and I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the exhibits of VCF East 2021. So when you come out of the parking lot, you walk up the sidewalk, you have to come in the main entrance of the Marconi Residence building. This is where Marconi lived when he was developing radio technology at the turn of the century. So we come into the place and we have registration on the left here, and there's Marconi on the wall. And we had
I have one of these that if you want to buy it, just an offer.
that's Michael Tomczyk that's speaking on his development of the VIC-20 product line at Commodore. And these are our check-in folks. There's Michael Tomczyk again. He's signing autographs and has some literature and products from his days at Commodore. So then, leaving the lobby, go down to the first exhibit area, which is a room off to the right here. And we have here a developer of a small computer board that implements a computer out of less than 30 TTL integrated circuits. And with it, he can, in a sort of microcode, and emulate a Z80 microprocessor.
So you guys were doing it yesterday.
All right, here we have a VIC-20 display with Alexander Pearson and Jeff Salzman, and these are full up VIC-20s. I didn't get to see what this exhibit was, but the next one here is ENIAC emulator, Diamond Jubilee exhibit by Brian Stewart. He's been working for several years on studying the entire history of the ENIAC and its implementation, and he has emulated its operation. This is an exhibit by Vladimir Vince of Yugoslavian computers, personal computers back in the day. And like many exhibits here, there's a theme for the IBM PC introduction, and that machine had some cards in it for various emulations. And but he is really focusing on Ted Nelson's ideas and some of the implementations of some software that implemented Ted Nelson's ideas of Xanadu and a word processor. This is an exhibit of computer graphic systems. I know there was some DEC emulation equipment there. Then here we have an exhibit of adventure games text adventure games.
Supported with his adventure engine, and up until this year, you literally could not find the CPM engine.
And
Scott came by earlier. He's like, "You have it? I thought it was
by
offered."
Ethan Dix. So he's got quite a collection of, I guess they're Infocom adventure games, and he's worked quite a bit with the engine of those adventure games and porting them to different places. Unfortunately, a lot of this room is taken down, but here's a view of the whole first floor, upper floor exhibit area. And the first exhibit is Heathkit H8 computers. So these were Intel 8080 computers, and some of these are original configurations, and some have newly manufactured, newly designed boards to replace the originals.
I'm just doing a sweep of the whole
And
place.
Alex Bodnar has his
This is the Heathkit corner.
H89 running the first version of Adventure. And this gentleman's making keyboard interfaces for various old keyboards to turn them into USB. Yep, little look back at Alex's card there. And we lost some exhibits here. There were some things for sale on these tables. I got to this late in the day, so some things had been just taken down, but most everything's still up. Okay, and here we have a Fujinet, and it's a Wi-Fi cartridge that's designed to get vintage computers on the internet, and then this is a thing called MUD, Multi-User Dungeons and Dragons, I think is what it is. And they said think of it as a text adventure version of Warcraft multi-user. So multiple people are interacting in text mode and working the dungeon and dungeon text adventure game. And it's been ported and implemented widely. And this exhibit is a history of the Weather Channel's weather processing systems, which are basically built out of computer technology of various eras. We're going from the most recent to the earliest. So the first ones are built on kind of standardized platforms, either P4 or Silicon Graphics, I think. And then there's a discrete 68,000 dual processor system represented here, which this gentleman had to completely reverse engineer and reprogram to recreate that system. Quite an amazing story. And then we have an 8085 based system that also reported the weather. So that would be the earliest one, I think, that they had on display for weather. And this is a very early character generator used in the cable places, just where the weather equipment would be used. This was a very unique display of period equipment. Okay, and then our guy here is involved in developing a new game for vintage computers, and look,
Sounds good. Yeah, very good to meet you in person.
alright, so I think I'm going to be walking to the lower exhibit hall now. Oh yeah, the game that was going to be developed is The Secret by Marcus. Marcus Mera was doing the exhibit, and he's involved with the development of the game. He says more information can be found at kensgame.com. Alright, so this lower exhibit hall is dedicated to MS-DOS, IBM PC, and basically DOS era computing. So this is a view of the room. Okay, and then we'll take a walk around it. So basically this is just machine after machine of IBM PC and IBM PC clone or emulated technologies. So, you know, everybody and his brother had to jump on the PC bandwagon and either get their existing machines to run MS-DOS, IBM compatible, or almost compatible, or they had to come out with really cloned machines. So it was a early time, very dizzying array of equipment was available. And we do have a Pong machine too that was restored and recreated.
Hey, Doug.
How you doing?
This is all my trash,
I
but
thought so.
And I'm just pretty much going to breeze by most of these, just all kinds of interesting equipment. You can see various IBM PCs, PS2 technology. And here we have a table of non-IBM PC type architectures that are running emulators, from Macintoshes to Acorn to Lisa's,
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Apple II with the box that has floppy drives, has the whole PC right in that box. It uses the Apple II for display and keyboard, and then that Apple II GS was running Flight Simulator. This is a little Unisys 486 box running, I think, Commander Keen, and a Data General laptop. There's a compact Model 1, or the first model, and that's actually on the internet running a IP stack. It lets it get on the internet. Here we've got DEC Rainbow. Tandy 1000, I think there. Another compact. And we have a exhibit of some IBM larger machines, the mid-level systems. I'm told these are System 36s. Black one's the most powerful one in the setup and the various terminals. That one on the floor is the next least powerful, less powerful than the black one. And then we have this big one here, which is actually less powerful than the other small one. So as they get down in size, they're a lot more powerful.
If I go in here, can I start up Star Trek?
Yeah, neat stuff there. System 36, I think, is what that they were generally. And then we have a network set of HP graphics terminals and regular terminals that are pretty cool. And then we'll walk to the middle of the exhibit, and this is a featured table of the early, like, first generation IBM PC models, the 5150, 5160,